Hey everybody, Juan here, welcome back. For this video, we are going to be reviewing the MOVO VXR10-Pro microphone. Usually on my channel, I use something like this microphone, but this one requires it to be on screen, and if you're a vlogger and you don't want the microphone to be in front or beside you, you put this to the side and you use something like a shotgun microphone, which can be plugged directly onto a camera, a smartphone. So in this video, we are going to be checking out what comes with the VXR10-Pro microphone kit at $50, which I think is quite the deal. We're going to be comparing it with the non-pro model, which I've actually owned going all the way back to January of this year. I also want to give a shout out to MOVO for actually providing me this product for review, but I do want to make it very clear that nobody is reviewing this video. All of the opinions are my own, because even though somebody like myself, I tend to enjoy a microphone like this because I do a lot of voiceover, maybe you don't want that. And even to somebody like me, it's nice to have an alternate option that really sounds pretty great. So if you like what I do, you can subscribe, click on that bell, go down to the comment section and let me know. When it comes to YouTube channels, do you prefer something like this? A channel that utilizes a shotgun microphone? Do you like something like the one I usually use? Let me know in the comments, but without further ado, let's find out what's inside. The first thing that impressed me is you actually get a hard shell case. Maybe you're not always going to be having this microphone be on top of your camera and you don't want to just lay it around somewhere, right? You get the shotgun microphone, a very nice and sturdy shock mount, a furry windscreen, and both a TRS output cable and a TRRS output cable. Now, I thought that the best way to put the sound quality of this microphone to the test would be to try it out in multiple different environments, like this one right now, which is my traditional vlog setup. I have no windows here. It's very much a controlled environment, but we are going to be going outside as well. And not just that, you're going to be listening to 3 different types of microphone setups. Right now, you're listening to me using the built-in microphone of my Panasonic Lumix G85. I purposely wanted to start with maybe the worst of the 3 options, just so you can fully understand how important it is to have an external microphone as part of your setup. And for context, the microphone volume of the built-in microphone on the camera is set to -3 dB. So with that being said, let's now try the MOVO VXR10. And now you're listening to me using the MOVO VXR10 microphone. It is placed directly above my camera and set to -7 dB on the camera options. And you should notice an increase in quality immediately in comparison to using no external microphone whatsoever. I actually bought this microphone back in January when we first bought this new home for some personal projects outside of YouTube and all of that, because I wanted something that wasn't dependent on having an on-camera microphone, because it was a more personal experience, right? And I was very surprised at the low cost and high-end result of that microphone. But having said that, let's now try out the Pro model. And now you are listening to me using the MOVO VXR10-Pro microphone. Keep in mind that this is a super cardioid microphone, as opposed to an omnidirectional microphone or even a cardioid microphone. Because this is a super cardioid microphone, it is completely directional. So even just right off to the sides, if I just move and rock here back and forth, you should notice a difference in quality. The great thing is that, say you are only interested in doing a vlog with just one subject on screen, and you have a lot of cars going by, you have a window, dogs barking, as long as they're not placed directly in front of the microphone, my audio quality, the quality of the main subject, is definitely going to shine a lot more than everything else. For this one, I did have to modify the microphone volume settings to -6 dB to get a similar result to that of the regular VXR10 microphone. Now keep in mind that as you are listening to me, I don't have a super quiet setup. I have my computer, which is on right now. I have an air conditioning unit. I have my air purifier that is just behind me right now, and it is on. And even though, yeah, you may notice a little bit of background noise, it is in no way something that's going to be distracting, because I mean it's part of what it is, right? It's a live environment. But in order to give you a back-to-back comparison, we are now going to shift between the no external microphone, the VXR10, and the VXR10 Pro, so you can really see that sound quality definitely change. Donuts are the greatest creation in human history. Donuts are the greatest creation in human history. Donuts are the greatest creation in human history. And as you keep watching this video and checking out the sound quality of this microphone, I would love for you to go down to the comments and let me know, what do you think about the quality? And before we actually go outside, which is not something that I regularly do in videos, I actually want to show you how you can get a much better sound quality result from an external microphone by just adjusting a couple of things. Now, usually when somebody buys an external microphone for their camera, they get it, they put it up top and call it a day. And yeah, that is undoubtedly a lot better than the built-in microphone on the camera, but you are missing out on so much quality that you can get out of that microphone. Like right now, I'm still using the MOVO VXR10-Pro, but instead of having it at the top of the camera, I actually placed it above me as a matter of fact, using an external tripod that I usually use for LED lights and other different things. And because it is so much closer to me, number one, the fidelity. You should be able to notice a definite increase in quality, but number two, because it is closer to me, I can actually lower the microphone volume in the camera so you get a lot less of that background noise. One thing worth noting is that the cable that comes with the microphone is very specific. There's one that's specifically for smartphones, but the other one, which goes from the microphone to the camera, is a bit of a hybrid cable because the part that's connected to the microphone is very similar to that of a smartphone. So you can't just get a traditional extension cable, which is why right now, even though I'm doing this setup, I'm using the built-in cable, the cable that came with the kit. So I can actually make the sound a lot better. Let me just give you a comparison that as you get it closer, right now it's still a little bit up front, but imagine if I had the microphone directly above or below me, that sound quality would be incredible. And I guess right now you can actually get a bit of a comparison. But with that being said, let's go outside. And now we are recording outside, so naturally there's going to be a whole lot of noise, cars going by, wind blowing. It's nighttime, so there may or may not be crickets as well. And this is the built-in microphone of my Panasonic Lumix G85 camera. As we try out the other two microphones, I'm going to put what people refer to as the dead cat, as the wind protector, on both microphones, so that way you get a pretty good sample of each one. And now you're listening to the MOVO VXR10 microphone. It is placed directly above my camera at -7 dB, and it does have the dead cat installed, so that way it doesn't get a lot of that wind sound that gets very annoying. I hate that when that happens in videos. Some crickets are starting to go out of their way right there. And of course, you couldn't do that when I had the other microphone, the internal microphone of the camera, right? But for context, this is it with this one. Now let's try the Pro model. And this is now the MOVO VXR10 Pro microphone placed directly above my camera at -6 dB with the dead cat installed. Let's go back and test out the three consecutively. Donuts are the greatest creation in human history. Donuts are the greatest creation in human history. Donuts are the greatest creation in human history. Now let's do something different with these tests. I'm here right now in our game room. You are listening to me with the built-in microphone of the camera at -6 dB. I'm going to go behind the camera and we're going to do three tests. The first one is going to be with no plugged-in microphone, then afterwards the previous model, and then at the end the Pro. And this is a bit of my Nintendo corner. It's a little bit over the place, so I have a couple of PS1 games there. I actually pre-ordered that Super Mario 3D All-Stars game, the physical version, so when that comes out in September, we'll be able to take a look at that. But I have a couple of Wii U games, not all of them, a bit of my Wii games, and at the top, DS and 3DS games. I'm very excited though because one of my best friends, he actually shipped out a modified 2DS with a built-in capture card. So maybe in the future, I can actually do some non-emulated DS and 3DS coverage. Check out some of the games that I have here. Some of these, you actually recently saw them on my previous pickups video, available now on the channel, talking about games like Agents of Mayhem, Darksiders 3. All of you know I love my Wii U, PS3 stuff, PS2, so I feel like I gotta give the PS4 a couple more years, although a game like Rad Rogers is like a retro style game, so maybe that's gonna be right up my alley. Check out that copy of Tearaway there. And Yonder, that's like not like a Zelda-like game, but people have made some comparisons to that. Maybe one of my favorite parts of the collection here. And sorry for the lighting, I'm literally holding the light with my left hand, recording with my right. One game that I know got a sequel recently, where is it? Is a Deadly Premonition. This is the first one on the PS3. It runs like hell. Check out this game right here, Mod Nation Racers. I was actually going to do a video about it, but once I saw that the servers were offline and everything, I kind of got unmotivated. We have White Knight Chronicles. I bought that many years ago and I've yet to try it out. I don't have like a big 360 collection, but I have a couple of games there. You see just a tiny bit of my wrestling DVDs. I have more, but those are the ones that are stored there. And not only have we switched to the right shelf, we've also switched microphones. And showcasing first the Blu-ray collection here, I think we all have this point in time where we love to collect movies, right? Regardless of the format. But now with Netflix, HBO, I think that's a thing of the past. But going down below, you get to see the rest of my Wii games. And I hope to be able to highlight and showcase more of these games in the future. Then right after that, you get to see my tiny collection, because it really is tiny, of GameCube games. And for whatever reason, there's a copy of Genji. Remember, I don't really showcase this stuff on video except now, so it's just kind of a mess. I have coins, AA batteries for when I pop those into an Xbox controller. And then below that, that's maybe my favorite part of the collection, a console that I love so much, maybe even more than the PS3. It is the PS2. We're talking about games like Britney's Dance Beat, which I try to show her in that game anytime I can. Aside from that, I really do love music rhythm games, but you get a nice sample of the different games that I have here, and I hope to showcase them in the future. I gotta show some love to Pimp My Ride and also Def Jam Vendetta. If you've played that game, we're friends. So that was a look at the MOVO VXR10-Pro microphone. If the question is it worth buying? It is $50, people. I've owned the Rode VideoMic Pro, the previous non-pro model version of this microphone, and even though they all sound great, I love the kit that this all comes with, right? You get the hard case, you get the cables, the accessibility of plugging this microphone directly to a camera or onto a smartphone. And I think by far the most underrated, or if anything the most surprising feature, is that at $50 you can actually directly plug in your headphones or earbuds right to the back of the microphone. So sometimes there's nothing worse than recording a video and then when you're editing it you realize there's background noise, there's a wind, something that you don't quite like. But because you can actually plug in some earbuds as you're about to record, you can make adjustments there. And for context right now, this voiceover, I'm still recording it with the VXR10 very close to me. I wanted to close off the video doing something different, right? Where for the most part, I've been on screen, but what I've actually get very close to this microphone, and maybe it's not necessarily for on-camera stuff, that option is there. You can plug this microphone to your smartphone for the sake of doing voiceover. You can connect it to a recorder. The choices are there, and at $50, I think it is most definitely worth a shot. So let me know by listening to the audio, taking a look at some of the features. Do you think the MOVO VXR10-Pro is worth buying? Please let me know in the comments. And if you like what I do, please consider subscribing, clicking on that bell, and up until next time, thank you for watching and supporting, and take care, everybody.